So they're buying large-scale amounts of dewormers for their animals, but they're taking them without doctor supervision because someone on the internet says it's going to cure COVID-19. It's like, I don't even feel any anger towards them. I feel sadness towards them, but anger towards people like Jimmy Dore and Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson who continue to peddle snake oil. This video's fucked up. I didn't even know about it. It's time for a human centipede of React Andes.
Person is faking their disability.
Hey there. I know some of you might recognize me from my initial posts on Instagram. I've been hiding a lot and not showing exactly what this has done to me. But I'm done hiding. And I'm done being scared. There are several stories like mine. The same doctors who told us this was safe are the same doctors brushing us off as if we didn't matter. It is now time that we are heard.
You gotta be fucking me. This whole thing is fake? What the fuck? Okay. I know I just started this video and I have no idea what I'm about to experience, so I could go in a completely different direction. I'm going to say this, though. This might be speaking to a bigger problem. The problem of, like, everyone being so desperate to be an influencer or famous on TikTok that they'll take any angle they can. Even, like, one of the most fucking disgusting angles you possibly could, like mocking people with, like, legitimate disabilities.
Look at the cord from her fingers. It's an iPhone charger. What? No.
I've been hiding.
Oh my god, is that literally an iPhone charger? No.
Oh my god. No way. No way. Oh, what a scumbag. What an absolute and complete scumbag. That is fucking rugged.
No, no, no. This is so dangerous saying people are faking their disabilities. Okay.
Yeah.
So, before we have disability activists yell at me, this is something that I should have immediately mentioned. One of the most common ways that disabled people get marginalized is when you have either an invisible disability or that you have a disability that renders you unable to walk without assistance, but then sometimes you can stand. So people often will say you're faking it. That's like a huge problem within the disability community. People thinking that you're faking the disability. However, the people that fake disabilities make that significantly worse because people are already like skeptical or questioning marginalizing disabled people regardless. And then when shit like this happens, they point to it and go, oh my God, see, this person was faking it. Other people are faking it too. I have Tourette's, but I can go for days or even weeks without ticking really bad. And I always get anxiety that people don't understand that I'm not always ticking and think I'm faking it. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. Except a lot of anti-vaxxers have historically done exactly this. Fake a disability so they can get fucking brownie points. And brownie points being, because there is no fucking brownie points with getting a disability. But, you know, this. Donate to my GoFundMe. Follow my journey. Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System. She has a literal fucking VAERS link on her link.
Jesus. Hey, I'm guessing everyone at this point has watched the measured response video to vaccination by Pharma guy. Holy fuck. Like, if you haven't already, and this is not going to be spoiler warning because it's just history and everyone should know it by now. If you thought the anti-vaxxers were foolish before, wait until you learn the history of the origins of the anti-vax movement and how one doctor, and almost one doctor alone, for profit, almost purely for profit, allegedly, may have started off this entire phenomenon of people believing that there's a correlation between autism and vaccines. And no one ever thought throughout that process how weird it was that he was also correlating that as this terrible thing that can happen and you better watch out. Like, if you do this thing, this other thing may happen to you. That I'm now going to prove through really bad science, where I've kind of bribed my way to create this new kind of vaccine that'll save the world. Yes, Andrew Wakefield.
And has raised $17,000 so far to recover from the COVID-19 vaccine. You're going to tell me this shit's real,
yes,
dude? You're going to tell me this lady, like, is real? It
Wait,
isn't
what?
Easy being
$17,000? Are you fucking kidding me? That's some people's year salary. Oh, no. Oh no, the grift. The grift. And man, people, like, I wish there'd be a way of tracking down one person who was struggling to make ends meet, who was like, I had to choose between like having lunch that day and giving $4 to Ramante Colaviciuti because, wait, Ramante Colaviciuti? Okay. Either way, giving my money to Ramante Colaviciuti because at the end of the day, I just saw the video and it was so harrowing, and I felt her pain. I could see it, you know, clearly the vaccines had destroyed her life, so she needed it more than I did.
It isn't easy being passed from doctor to doctor since March, but I'm here trying to push through all this madness. I wonder why they're passing her from doctor to doctor. Probably because not a single doctor is like, you have a problem. That other chatter's experience with Tourette's is exactly why I said it's dangerous. In this context, this person looks like an absolute asshole and I think she's faking. Yeah. But yeah, don't immediately assume that someone is fucking faking when you see someone with a disability. It's really fucked up. Especially because like they're already living with the fucking disability before you're gonna shit on her or him or them. Yes.
You know what this reminds me of? And again, this was not me predicting the future. So if anyone remembers, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, Joe Rogan's just doing the segment, brings on some random IDW guys. They start talking about a miracle cure for COVID. And they're like, it's weird that no one's talking about this because like it's showing really promising results. It's called ivermectin. If you haven't heard about it, it's showing to be very effective against treating the early symptoms of COVID. And it's also very cheap to produce. So it's almost seems like Big Pharma is suppressing this very life-saving drug. And I was like, well, okay, my spidey sense is tingling because again, this is someone saying that there's a miracle cure for something that is going against Big Pharma, big government. It's IDW. Joe Rogan's talking about it. This does not pass the smell test in the slightest. Then we see Brady Weinstein, and then he's on his show, and he's like, I am now going to take ivermectin live before all of you because, and again, I haven't been vaccinated, but I am in a high risk factor, and I just would like everyone to know that I'm going to be taking this to hopefully prevent catching COVID in the first place, and then takes the ivermectin live. Then Jimmy Dore goes on to Joe Rogan podcast, starts talking about why doesn't anyone talk about this? Huh? Ivermectin, cheap ivermectin. And at the time I was like, y'all know that this is like a horse dewormer. And yes, there are some studies that show that it could be potentially beneficial in use of COVID under the supervision of a doctor. It was the same thing with hydroxychloroquine. You've got the President of the United States coming out every day. It's the best, you know, I take hydroxychloroquine every morning. I take it for lunch. Okay, give it to my dogs, give it to my kids, who are also my dogs. All right, it's the best. Everyone takes hydroxychloroquine. And then every single one of his ghouls was coming out, like Stephen Miller was like, yeah, I take hydroxychloroquine before I commit hate crimes, and all the others. And yes, the hydroxychloroquine boys are back. And once again, people doing this shit are going to get hurt, is what I was saying. And yeah, not a surprise. You are not a horse. FDA tells Americans to stop taking dewormer for COVID. Agency issues message after misinformation about ivermectin, a medicine used to deworm livestock, spreads on social media. Ahead of full U.S. authorization of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine, which got authorized today, is that going to change anything for the crowd who believes the government is cucking them by making them take these things instead of ivermectin? I don't know. But they had to say, and I quote, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." That was from the FDA. That was an actual message the FDA had to tell everybody. Again, quote, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow." 2021. Could have had the flying cars. Could have had it all. Instead, the government officials have to actually tell the people of the country, you are not a horse. It's come to that. So that's the world we live in. But of course, that's not going to deter Brett Weinstein, Jimmy Dore. I'm sure Tim Pool's probably got 15 segments getting ready for it. Government suppresses the truth. How are we to know that we are not, in fact, horse, cow? In July, Brett Weinstein, an evolutionary biologist, told Fox News, if ivermectin is what those of us have looked for at the evidence think it is, the debate about vaccines would be over by definition. Okay, now, here's just another important part when people come out and talk about this whole issue, and that is, Lance, I never thought I'd see a leftist simping for Big Pharma. Lance, didn't think you were in Big Pharma's pocket. I've actually got people on Twitter, by the way, when I've been making fun of the ivermectin crowd, who were typing out things like, who paid you off? Didn't know Serfs was owned by CNN. I was like, okay, if you don't know how this operation works, it's very simple, okay? I am like a street performer. I just with a lot more expensive technology, but typically I go here, I do my song and dance, people like it, they throw me nickels, and if they don't like it, they don't. And then that's the whole thing. There's no Soros funding, there's no corporate sponsorship yet. Let me pull up some memes, because I will give him this. Oh, and by the way, amongst the peddlers of this, Jordan Peterson has entered the ring. Jordan Peterson is very proud of his work in this. Like this is what Jordan Peterson fans have been sending out to people who are like, this is absolute bullshit. Y'all are drugging yourselves with fucking horse dewormer, you know? On Sunday, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy told CNN the best protection we have against the COVID-19 is the vaccine. If you get COVID-19, we actually do have treatments that work. Ivermectin is not amongst them. There was a huge problem in Mississippi. I believe something up to 70% of all the calls into poison control in Mississippi are for people who are treating themselves with ivermectin, and they're buying it like from animal stock places, like places you would buy supplies for farms. So they're buying large scale amounts of dewormers for their animals, but they're taking them without doctor supervision because someone on the internet says it's going to cure COVID-19. It's like, I don't even feel any anger towards them. I feel sadness towards them, but anger towards people like Jimmy Dore and Joe Rogan and fucking Jordan Peterson, who continue to peddle snake oil. And it's not even peddling snake oil for personal profit outside of the fact that these headlines and these episodes sell very well. People love conspiracy theories. People love alt medicine. People love yelling at big pharma and big government, right? So they go on their shows, they spread all this. They say, well, it's weird that no one's talking about this, even though people are talking about it. Well, they're certainly talking about it now if they weren't talking about it before, because you're getting people into poison control. And at the end of the day, back to that big pharma question, I do not give two fucks about simping for Big Pharma. I hate Big Pharma. Most leftists do. Most leftists, like myself, want to nationalize pharmaceutical industries, or we want to break them up at the very least. We do not want them to have these massive monopolies where everyone is like, yes, but we need them to spend all this money. If we don't, they won't spend the money on R&D. And if they don't spend the money on R&D, we don't get all the delicious medicines and the stuff that makes our penises hard for the first time in 20 years. Well, turns out Viagra, if we're going to talk about that, they weren't even trying to find the penis stiffener. They were actually trying to find something that was going to help with heart medication. That was just a freebie. They just stumbled upon that one. So there you go. And then the second thing is, most of those companies spend more money on advertising than they do on R&D. I'm not making that up. Look up the numbers. Look up how much money Pfizer and all the rest of them spend on advertising versus how much they spend on R&D. They are actually pill pushers. They spend money on advertising their products on daytime TV in America. So all day you're watching those things where it's like, do you suffer from sadness, depression, anxiety? Do you have trouble speaking to other humans in social situations? You know, the human stuff, the stuff that we all feel, the stuff that every single one of us does. Like, yeah, no, I do not feel great in social situations naturally. Who the fuck does? Like, Adam Apple Andy? Like, what is going on here?
This is the most famous one. Dubstep Wobble Girl. For those of you who don't know, also known as Hot Cheerleader Hoax on TYT, also known as Desiree Jennings.
Outing Jennings' claim to dystonia, the public sympathetic attitude towards her began to wane, and she quickly was becoming a laughingstock. People began posting reaction commentary videos which made fun of the woman's walk on YouTube. Public opinion began to sway against Jennings, and she was being collectively goofed on by the internet. The folks over at the Inside Edition were several weeks deep into a project which they hope when finished would expose the truth about the woman and her claims. Inside Edition had been covertly filming Desiree Jennings out in public spaces across a span of
back when Insider Edition was like actually doing good fucking journalism.
Couple of weeks. And during their undercover filming operation, they discovered that when Jennings thought no one was filming her, she magically had no symptoms.
Oh wow.
But look at
just wait, this part is really good. This part is really good.
Inside Edition supplied this video of her walking normally, playing with her dogs, shopping, and even driving. Inside Edition had been secret.
Some of you are watching this for the first time ever, realizing that you only saw the first part and did not realize that this person was faking their disability, by the way. Because that's how fucking devastating anti-vaxxers and their fucking insane propaganda is. Even after she was fucking exposed, anti-vaxxers still use the first part. Why isn't this illegal? I don't know. I want her to go to jail. Like, I hope she goes to jail. I mean, I would hope that she goes to jail.
Secretly taping Jennings for weeks.
We've been trying to reach you and you have not been returning our phone calls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's going on? It looks like you've made a complete
Watch this part. It's so good.
recovery.
Well, I don't want to say complete recovery. I still have a lot of cognitive.
Oh, it does more than just belittle disabled people. Like, it actively harms them. It is unbelievably cruel and malicious, and you are doing it for profit and attention. And that's why in both of these cases, whether it's going to be Wobble Girl or whoever this new variation is, where it's like the vaccine has turned me into this, and this is all the things that it's doing to me, please go to my GoFundMe. That is just fucking ghoulish to ghoulish levels beyond belief.
Cognitive issues. I mean, the people are free to believe whatever they
it does.
Cognitive issues. One of them is remembering it's the top of the fucking hour. Time for a 60-second ad break right now.
but, you know, I mean...
Why did you put that in, editor? Shame.
She walked to her car sideways, saying it was dystonia.
I remember Chad saying this turned them anti-vax when they were young when we watched it last time.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's how fucking devastating anti-vaxxers are. They will lie and even...
Let's just get back to the modern day one.
First, I want to say that I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I do want to address a situation that has occurred over the past couple of days. Apparently, there were a group of individuals who posted me in a thread claiming that what I have been going through over the past 5 months is fake. This group of individuals has not only threatened myself and my family, but also my friends and anyone who has supported me throughout this journey. This is for those who are attacking me while I'm trying to recover from my injury. I don't judge you for questioning me because you don't know me personally. But what I do judge you for is putting someone who is already going through enough through more. I've also had my GoFundMe reported so many times that I've had to provide invoices and doctor information, which is totally okay because I have plenty of that. Hey there.
Wait, her evidence was that she's taken the vaccine because she's got the vaccine card and a letter from Pfizer so far. Oh, things are getting weird. Also, there's only 5 videos available. Things are looking more suspicious by the talk. Just so you know, that pulse ox on her finger does seem legit and not an iPhone charger. It's probably during fake testing. There's taped on pulse oximeters that are used when folk are epileptic or have dystonia because they can easily walk it off. She has a website, she does, and apparently that's where it's got the link to the GoFundMe. But none of this is evidence that what she was doing was faking it. I'm one of the many faces behind the severe COVID vaccine complications. Is there any testimony from doctors turning pain into persistence? I mean, it's highly sus that this whole thing is done in such a social media fashion. Yeah, if it is fake, there's no evidence that it's fake.
Also, this isn't an emotionally charged response from the negative comments that I've received. This is fact-based information that is happening to real people all across the world. There are several people like myself who are unwilling to come out with their story simply because of situations like this. Also, I want to say that I am not anti-anything. I willingly received my first dose, and I am pro-choice across the board. I believe that everyone should have a choice to make, given all of the information. And just because something hasn't happened to you or anyone you know doesn't mean that it's not happening.
This is also very strange.
Also, just because I don't look sick, all of the
like, it's one video of like, this could happen to you too with sad music, and then 5 videos of everyone thinks this is fake, and here's why it's not.
Time doesn't mean that I'm not. I'll give you an example. Someone who has seizures may not have them 24/7. However, they do try to live a normal life. And just because I don't look like this all the time doesn't mean I'm not going through it. I shouldn't be at fault for trying to live my life how it used to be. So to wrap this up, I'm here to say that I won't hide. And also that we should be able to talk about both the positive and the negative outcomes of the health decisions that we are faced with.
Well, I mean, T-minus how long until she does the tour?
Hey there, you might recognize me from this video.
This is the exact same video. She posted this video
Hey there,
2 days ago, and then posted this video.
Hey there, you might recognize me.
This one has 36,000 views, but then I guess she had more followers by this point, so she posted again, and now this one has 160,000 views. I don't know. There's nothing here that directly disproves her claims. It could be true. But there's also nothing here that proves them whatsoever. It's just like a video. There's 2 TikTok logos. Yeah, maybe she justifies it because she believes the vax is unsafe and thinks she is saving lives. Well, yeah, but that's still super shady what you're doing, though. If that's what you're going about. Bart. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Payton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Ultimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Sharon 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.